Hi everyone, Craig Warrack here, back with another of my custom Marvel Legends, and today we have Dormammu, or Dormammu, or Dormammu. Not sure how to say his name. I always pronounced it Dormammu, but in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and then I was looking at some of the other cartoons he's appeared in, it seems to be Dormammu. Anyway, who really cares? Okay, so here we have Dormammu. What can I really say about Dormammu? What can't I say about Dormammu? Once again, this is a custom of a character I am a big fan of. Although, to be honest, Dormammu really just does the same thing over and over again. He's always trying to invade the Earth realm from his dark dimension, where he is the overruler. What's his history? Well, I'm not too sure. I think he's one of a race of extra-dimensional magical beings known as the Faultine, or the Faultine, and yeah, that's all I know really. I think they're energy beings and they appear as they want, but Dormammu seems to like to appear as a man with a big head that's on fire. So make of that what you will. What can I say about his design? Okay, I'll actually show you some of the various research materials. I say research materials like I'm a PhD student. I'll show you some of the comics that I looked through to come up with some ideas for Dormammu. Basically what you're looking at the moment is a sort of adaptation of his, I think his most recent costume, and the one that probably he's most famous in all of a sudden because he appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with this kind of outfit. This is from this comic book, Dormammu, from Indefensible, which was a series, I think it was 4 comics. I've got the trade here. And this is where Dormammu stopped wearing a skin-tight purple jumpsuit and went for this kind of number here. It's interesting in this comic, in every panel that Dormammu's in, he always has this plume of smoke rising, always off the top of the panel. You never actually see where the fire ends with him. Just keeps on going and going. I wonder what that says about him as well. Anyway, this is a fantastic series. It's I'm assuming it's canon, but it's a comical look at the Defenders, and I don't know how you can look at these characters seriously. Anyway, I mean, they're hard to take seriously. They're so pompous, and this comic gets that, and it's just a really good comic. So that's where this current costume came from. Now, something that as much as I love that comic and I love the overall design, something that I wasn't keen on was that Dormammu design had, he was quite armoured. He had like these sort of, I don't know what to call them, layered armour. What are these? Things that go down the side of your legs. He had an armoured version of these, and I thought that kind of took away from, he's not really a sort of a knight, he's more of a sorcerer, I suppose. So when I did this custom, I decided to go back and give him more sort of robes, and I kept this centerpiece to be quite armoured to keep that kind of effect. But something that I also changed from his design was, hold on, I'll bring him closer so we can look at his head in a wee bit more detail. Alright, here's a bit of a closer look at Dormammu. Sorry, my camera can't get much closer than this piece of crap that it is. So yeah, something that I decided to do this one is, you can still see inside his sort of flames there are these black spines. Now these were underplayed in his Indefensible, his Marvel vs. Capcom 3 outfit, but I've always loved in some older appearances of Dormammu. Hold on a second. This is from Essential Doctor Strange. I've just looked up. I think this is the first time that Dormammu appeared with one of my favourite features. He had this kind of black, I don't know, kind of a cage that did its job and surrounded his flame. And I just thought that added something kind of defining to this general sort of blobby head. So I put that back in to this. I really like that, and also it serves quite a good purpose with the flames, and that it supports the flames, and I'll get into how I sculpted those in a little minute, as I do a rundown on the recipe of him and how he was made. So the base body for Dormammu is a Marvel Legends Blackheart figure from the Onslaught series. I used this figure because, well, I had one lying around. Really, it was because it was very tall, and I thought that's what, certainly Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's what Dormammu was. Just compared to Captain America here, you can see there's a huge height difference. So yeah, I used that, and I added, to change the feet, these are the boots from Marvel Legends Bishop. Now, I added these because I thought I needed to bulk up his feet basically, and he has quite big boots in this character design, but I like these because they kind of look like those boots that you see the kind of goth people wear when they go to comic stores. They're really bulky, they've always got these big steel toe caps and everything to go with their rather puny bodies. But who am I to talk? And he's got, so I just added those, and I thought they served their purpose really well. His arms are from Annihilus, with the tops from Blackheart, so they would fit onto his shoulder joints, and the wrist joints from Blackheart, and the hands again from Annihilus. I love these hands. They have great articulation for the fingers and just great general monsteriness, claw style. Shoulder pads come from the Red Skull. His skirt part comes from one of the new Dragon Age figures. I think it's Duncan. His whatever this is, his wedding trail. I think the Royal Wedding Kate Middleton is going to be wearing this exact outfit. This is her wedding trail, and it is made from the Sentry's cape. The centre part here is from the Maestro's loincloth, cut up and layered like that. And what else we got? This is also from the Maestro. And when I wanted to preserve, his lower body has lost a lot of articulation just due to the complexity of, the outfit and the amount of layers that go into it. It's hard to do this sort of skirt thing, but the skirt is actually attached to the top of his leg, so he still retains that articulation and the knee. He's just not going to be sitting down, and it's mainly because of this. It's not going to fold down. He can get into some kind of sitting pose, but yeah, just that kind of limits that articulation a bit, but it doesn't really bother me that much. What else do we have? I sculpted over his upper chest and sculpted the sort of the cage thing. I'm going to call it a brazier. Not a brazier. He doesn't have a brazier around his head. It's a brazier. And yeah, so that's his outfit, painted basically with lots of black. The red is done with silver paint, and then coated with red. and then darkened down again with several washes, and then done with red again because it didn't look right, and then doing it with washes again, and then doing it all silver again, and over. And the sort of flexible parts of his costume, mix in some PVA glue with your paint and it won't crack when you move it. There's a top tip there. What else do we have? Okay, his head. His head is a Marvel Legends Blackheart head, same as the body. There's not much left of it. It's completely sculpted, and all the fire is sculpted as well. He still retains his head articulation, so he's not going to be doing any 360 spins, but he still looks up and down and left and right, so he's still got all that. And I added at the back, I didn't want the fire to just continue at the back. I wanted there to be a backdrop that would give contrast to the fire. As my higher art teacher said, art's all about the contrast. He was probably talking shite there, but it certainly helps to bring out the fire effect, just that dull grey in the back. And that was a really sort of challenging to make this smoke effect. It took a long time, and it started off looking like a big dog turd, but eventually evolved into that loveliness you see before you. Now I did what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? I'll just go plain. I did think about using hot glue for this, but this is actually the second custom of Dormammu I made. I made one a few years ago, and I've been looking around for that, and I really didn't like it when I made it, and here it is. It's in a really, really sorry state, because when I made it I was really dissatisfied, and basically I just put it at the bottom of all my work stuff. And yeah, this was made with hot glue. So I mean, the head is flexible, and you know, I was quite happy with the hot glue part when I made it, and it lit up and everything. It doesn't anymore, just because he's been abused terribly. But I just think the hot glue, while it's a nice idea, and I don't know, it's one of those things that you're trying to capture the effect of fire, and how do you really do that? Some toys will come up with like a hot glue method. Look at his head's coming off there. Well, like a transparent plastic method. And yeah, I think that's okay. Sometimes it's still, you know, I don't think you're ever going to capture the effect of fire. So for this one I went with just sculpted and painted. I also experimented with casting the head in resin, clear resin, and then thinking about adding dyes, etc. It was just too complicated for the level I'm at the moment. All these mold locks that would come along with the sort of the sculpted fire. It was just something I wasn't really willing to get into. So thanks for that. Poor Mamu. See, that's hilarious. Poor Dormammu, old Dormammu. Here's the new one, much better. Okay, I don't know if look. The good thing about that cape at the back is it really does help him stand up in almost any pose. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Dormammu. I'm really happy with them. I'm especially happy with how sort of bright and vivid the flame is compared to the general sort of black look of the body. I think it works really well, even if I do say so myself. And yeah, that's the dread Dormammu. He's going back to the dark dimension now. He's probably been beaten by Doctor Strange in some ridiculous loophole sort of thing. But yeah, okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any comments, do leave them down below. Got any questions for me, put them there as well. Any suggestions for customs I should make, give me a shot. I'll probably say no anyway, just knowing me. Alright, Grump. And yeah, but thanks for watching, and I just passed some gas there. Excuse me. How rude. in the presence of Captain America, past gas. It's this guy's fault. It's the dread Dormammu and his evil spell to inflict gas on the planet Earth. Curse you, Dormammu. Where's Stephen Strange when you need him? That's right, he's in Bendis' Avengers. Thanks. Bye.